Well, congratulations. It looks like you've decided to dig in, learn about the MVC architecture, and specifically how to use Laravel. So, over the course of the next videos, I'm going to assume that in terms of your PHP understanding, you know the basics. Maybe you understand the language, you know how to create classes, you don't need any help with that. However, when it comes to taking your procedural code and migrating that over to an MVC framework, maybe at that point you're starting to have a little trouble. What exactly is MVC? How does Laravel fit into that? How do we take our procedural code and organize it into controllers and views or models or a domain? What does a domain even mean? Well, going a little bit slower than maybe some of the other videos on this site, we will discuss all of that. The first step, though, is installation. So if I go to laravel.com, though, you're not going to see any download button, and this can be confusing at first. Well, we are going to handle all of that using a package manager called Composer. We can install that by visiting getcomposer.org. Now, think of a dependency manager as a way of saying, for this new project, I require this dependency and that. Maybe you need some kind of logging tool, or maybe you need a router, or maybe you need an image manipulation library. Well, in the past, we had to resort to things like pair, and it was really very awful. Composer improves that immensely. So Ruby on Rails has a tool called Bundler, the Node.js community has a tool called NPM, and in PHP, we have Composer. So let's get this set up. If we go to the download link, you can see you can copy and paste this link into your terminal. However, I'd rather install it globally. So if we go to Getting Started, we can see if I scroll down just a little bit here, on Unix machines, we can download it, and then we will move that download into our bin. So notice, move the download into local bin composer. Let's go ahead and do this together. I will paste this in. Now you can see we have this composer.far file. If you're not familiar with that extension, think of it sort of like a PHP archive. But now we are going to move it into our bin. And that's it. So now I can run Composer, and we are all set to go. The next step is, of course, we want to get Laravel installed. So how can we do that? Well, I can type Composer, create project, Laravel/Laravel. Think of this as the identifier for Laravel. The only remaining thing to do is to specify what our project will be called. Why don't we just call this Learning Laravel? All right, so now it's going to compile all of the dependencies that Laravel requires, download them onto your machine, and place them within a Learning Laravel directory. Generally, this will take just a couple moments or so. All right, and that looks like it's done. So let's scroll up and see what happened. So notice that Laravel leverages Composer quite a bit. So notice all of these dependencies that Laravel requires, all of those get downloaded. Laravel then sets a unique application key. Don't worry about that just yet. The important thing, though, is if I now cd into that Learning Laravel directory, we have a full, fresh installation of Laravel ready to go. Now, it wouldn't be fair to finish up this lesson without first seeing something in the browser. So let's run php artisan serve. This will boot up a server that we can access at localhost 8000. If you browse to that page and you see the Laravel logo, congratulations, you've arrived and you're ready to start digging in further.